phone on.
Shit's fire.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it is an absolute honor to finally sit down with my man, Randy Kitzmiller. Man, what is happening?
How you doing, buddy? Long time since Daytona.
Not really, but yes, long time since Daytona.
It seems like a long time. So much happens. Yeah, it's good to see.
It does, yeah. We were fortunate to actually meet in person at Daytona too, which was always proper mega to meet my friends. It's good times. You was out there actually helping out my other buddy Shane Maggs and the whole Wiseco Moto Drone team. But we'll talk about all that here in a little bit. It's good to see you again, and we have a lot to talk about. We have about an hour to squeeze in as much as we can, but I really want to get in depth, right? So we'll definitely do a part 2 of this. But as always, Randy, where did your journey start on those beautiful 2 wheels, man?
Oh man, Chris, hey, it's good to finally sit down with you. We met. I know you meet a lot of people. We met in Atlanta at an ASRA event. I think last.
That's
year.
right. Okay, that's right.
Before that, I think I met you through Shane at a motor drone event. So if you remember, I rode for those guys in 24, and we took second in the WERA Endurance Championship midweights. Man, where did it begin? So I've been in and out of motorcycle racing for 25 years, almost 25 years. And like everybody else, my story is very similar. I was in the Air Force. I joined in 1997. I grew up in a real poor family, but in a real rural area of Maryland, Western Maryland. And so everybody had ATVs and dirt bikes and stuff like that. And, you know, being the poor kid, I never had the money to have something like that. But I enjoyed my friends and just the freedom that gave. I always wanted that for myself. And so in the Air Force, I got to England in 1999, and I finally got myself a Katana 600. For the older fans of your show will know that was a sport tour that a lot of folks entered into wanting a sport bike and wanted to get to the racetrack and that kind of thing, drag a knee, and that's kind of a starter bike, and it was great for me. I did Silverstone. I did Cadwell and Alton Park and Brands Hatch on a Katana 600. And I got some coaching a long time ago. One of the very first track days, I didn't even know track days were a thing. I started getting dangerous on the road, and some of my friends were like, you need to go do a track day. I said, what the hell is that? And man, the rest is history. Like I found track days, and that led to racing. That led to racing in the National Endurance Championship in the UK. That led to an invitation to the World Endurance Championship with a team from Belgium, which I never got to do, but then I stepped away. In 2007, I came back to the States, became a special agent. That career took me away from racing altogether. But I stayed competitive. I tried to do some fishing. I got into triathlon for a while to sort of scratch that itch, but there is nothing that compares to racing, and there is no community that compares to the racing community. And 2 years ago, I got a bike off of an Evolve coach, and I went to pit race. Rest in peace. And I still had a little bit of pace on just a non-tuned bike. It was enough to make me wonder, like, could I still compete? And so, yeah, I threw my hat in the ring and I started racing with ASRA a little bit, and yeah, you know the rest.
I love it, man. What a journey, bro. You know, I want to touch back on, you know, in the UK, everybody knows BSB is my favorite production.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, all anybody got to do, and I'm not taking nothing away from Moto America at all. I love everybody at Moto America. It's absolutely some of the best racing in the world. But from round one, from lap one, it is complete, utter Moto 3 style racing to the end. It's absolutely amazing. And them boys, they don't play. It's elbow.
Yeah, I think some of the so I'm just getting introduced to Moto America. You know, like I've told you before, and I'll say it here, that I've got some ties to the BSB paddock. A crazy story. Like my life has just been a bunch of crazy coincidences. Of course, you know, I'm the co-founder of Epic Design and Print with Justin Nelson, who has a fantastic reputation in the racing community, the bike community in general. Used to be Epic SuperBike Designs. That's how everybody knows him. And we morphed over to, or we evolved is the word he likes to say. We evolved to Epic Design and Print. And then for our sponsored riders, we have Epic Design and Print Racing Division. So yeah, I'm doing that now. To go back to the BSB tie, so I used to work for NCIS. I just resigned from NCIS in January after almost 8 years. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Doing counterintelligence work and biometrics work abroad. And so I was in the UK for about 4 or 5 months last year. And I got a buddy, the guy who used to do my pit board and endurance days in the UK, still great friends. His name's Adam Cook. He used to come do my pit board, and his young son was, 7 or 8 at the time. His name was Max. He'd come sit on the bike and just kind of, he real quiet and reserved, very shy until he warmed up to you. But he'd sit on the bike and he'd watch us, pack the trailer and just chit chat about strategy and things. Well, fast forward, and now Max is, last year was a Kawasaki factory rider in BSB. And so I went over there, went to their first official test. I think this was April or March at Donington. So I got to spend time with Max and Adam, and his other son, James, is also in the BSB paddock on a Super Teams bike. Phenomenal kids and phenomenal riders. Just fantastic to be around. And then
I actually had Max Cook on my podcast.
You're kidding.
No, I swear. You guys missed that episode. Go back and check it out. It's absolutely amazing.
I will. He's such a good guy. And the two of the James and Max, like the way they they're very different. Their riding styles are different. The personalities are different, but they're complementary in the way that they support each other. You know what I mean? It's just like it is in the Azure paddock or the Weir paddock, like people helping people, racers helping racers. But I went into the brands round as well and got to hang out with both of them. Was out on the grid with James, doing the Brawley Dolly thing. But I say all that to say that I watched the crowd, and I did a little video on my YouTube or Instagram or something of the weekend, right? Like the crowd that shows up on Thursday and they stay there until Sunday. They camp out. It's massive.
Massive, yeah. And
so being at Daytona this weekend, seeing just the crowd grow. Because motorcycle racing is not third, fourth, fifth sport in America, but over there it's like the second, right? You got soccer and then you got motorsports, and it's very prevalent. It was good to see the crowd and the passion in the fans at Daytona. So to see the fandom growing for Moto America is very promising. Certainly a fresh set of eyes coming in, having a different perspective from Europe and other paddocks. To see the growth in Moto America is very promising to me.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely different though from the BSB crowd. When I went up there in 23,
they're fanatic.
It's the energy. I mean, it was honestly, out of all the races I've been to in my life, it's the best race weekend I've ever had, even over MotoGP. It was just
BSB. Yeah,
yes,
BSB
man.
it's a culture thing. It's like truly it's a moving city, and once they connect for the year, it's a cool atmosphere.
Absolutely it is. I want to get a couple of these comments real quick. We got Dwayne Breezy. What's up, man? He says, "What's going on, my friends?"
Yeah. I see him almost every weekend at the Azure events. Yeah,
he's absolutely awesome, and his boy's super fast. And then, of course, we got the legend Shane. He says, "Dang, I can't hear this as I'm driving Dakota for the Dunlop test. Randy's an amazing man, and love having him part of my team. Love you and appreciate everything you do for me, brother. Excited for Atlanta. Let's go. I'll listen to this later. Love you, boys." Shane, nothing but love to you too, my friend. I can't wait to see you in Atlanta. Drive safe too, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I want to touch real quick on the Navy. I mean, your military side of things. I grew up in the military. My dad was in the Navy, using the Air Force. One of my best friends retired from the Air Force. Another one of mine did the Marines, and then got out. He did the Marines for 5-6 years, I think. At least 4 years. I want to say 6 years, and then did the Army Reserve and finished out. He did like 22 years, I think. So, yeah, definitely got a lot of ties. Thank you for your service, because without people like you, my dad, and everybody doing it, I don't care what job you did in the military, it's because of you is the reason why I'm able to sit here and do this, and we're able to go to the track and have fun and race, right? So what made you want to join the Air Force, bro?
Oh, man. So I honestly just growing up in a poor family. Grew up in a part of Maryland I grew up in. You were going to be a mechanic or a coal miner or a cashier or a drug dealer kind of thing. A very, very small town. And so I knew none of those things were for me. I was always ambitious, and the military seemed like a way out. I couldn't see myself going to college. Didn't have the money, number one. I had no idea about the processes to go into colleges. I didn't know how tuition, like I didn't know anything about it. And I'll say I didn't really have a mentor at that point in my life to sort of show me how to go about that. So the military just seemed like a natural result. So, and my father, I'll say, was in the Army for 16 years. He did air defense artillery, and he got out after 16 years. And I didn't know how strange that was until I got in the military, and I was like, damn, 16 years, you were way past the hump. Like there must have been some impetus that caused you to leave after that amount of time. And so, we eventually had a discussion about it, and he had good reasons for leaving. But he went back in the Guard and he finished out his retirement time. But anyway, those stories sort of prompted me to look at the military. And I knew, I was older than my years very early on. And I knew that if I went into the military early, so when I was 18 years old, I'd retire. I could retire when I was 38, which sounded crazy. But when that finally came to fruition, man, oh man, is it nice retiring when you're 38 years old, 39 years old.
Right.
And so I joined the military, and the very first career that I had in the Air Force was an explosive specialist. Not the guys who take them apart. I get that question all the time. I'm one of the ones that put them together and made sure that they exploded when they were supposed to. That sounds a lot sexier than it is. I mean, you grow a callus to, everybody thinks that's crazy and how am I still alive and have all my 10 digits. But it's much safer than you think it is. It's just, I kind of like racing. It's just, it's unforgiving to a lack of attention and detail, I'll say, which is the same way I explain racing. It's not any more dangerous than basketball. You just really got to pay attention to what you're doing. It's just unforgiving,
I would say.
So I became an explosive specialist, and then I thought, I got 10 years into that, and I'm like, man, what am I gonna do when I get out of the military? Like, how do I market myself? And aside from moving back to like a coal miner town and doing explosive trains, you see on the TV when they blow up the ground before they mine it, I'm like doing that kind of thing. And I thought, man, I could probably do something better than that. So I applied to become a special agent in 2010. Which is it's the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, or now it's just the Office of Special Investigations. And I got picked up to be an agent. That academy is in Fletsey, Georgia, so Winco, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. I went down there in 2010, and the rest is history. Became an agent, went to North Dakota. Then I've been to Oman and Korea and Singapore and Indonesia, and I've been all over the world doing all kinds of stuff. And then I retired in 2018. I took 3 months off, drank some beer in my garage with long socks on and shorts, and did some woodworking. And then I went to work for NCIS doing biometrics and counterintelligence in the Pacific. In a nutshell, that's the work story. I will tell you that Justin, when we finally get Justin on here, there are so many coincidences that happened that resulted in us joining. One of those, I'd say one of the very first ones, Justin's been doing my livery for 2 years. Met him through, I saw Shane's bike up at Pitt once, and I'm like, man, that's gorgeous. And he told me about Justin, and I started having him do my stuff. Well, come to find out through talking to Justin, he was also an explosive specialist in the Air Force for 10 years. We probably saw each other somewhere at a seminar or a training or an exercise or something. And so I know something about Justin based on the training that he's been to, based on the career that he's had and the areas, the sectors within explosives that he was in. I know something about how he thinks and things like that. So I think he and I partnering made sense in a lot of ways just because we knew a lot about each other before we ever spoke a word, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It very much does. Let me ask you this. One thing being, former military, everybody, from what I get from all my friends in the military and people I know is the brotherhood, right? Like once you get out of the military, it's hard to find that brotherhood. Would you say our paddock kind of fills that void?
Yeah, I'll go a step further and I'll say that one of the reasons, I would say the reason I liked being an agent was the people. And I know you hear that a lot. It's very cliche, but what I mean by that is all the people that I spent time with, there's no whine in them. There's no quit in them. It's the pursuit of excellence as a lifestyle. It is problem solving when problems arise. You don't bitch about it now while the problem's in your face. You bitch about it later on. If you need to bitch about it, you just solve it. And that career field, that sector is just littered with that kind of people. And when I got back into racing 2 years ago, it sort of refreshed my memory as to what type of people those are. They're people that are problem solvers. A race day, pick a racer and have a gasket blow, and they got to solve it within an hour because they got another race. And they're just doing it. And then they'll bitch later over a beer when it's getting dark. Pursuit of excellence for the sake of what? Especially at club level racing, for the sake of excellence, just for the sake of doing something really difficult in an outstanding way. It's really difficult to do. And I love it, man. I want to be around those kind of people. I want to be around that environment. I want to be around people that give you the shirt off their back and not bitch about it, because I certainly have that same mentality. So it was refreshing to come back and be around these people. It wasn't just the military. It was the agent ness, I guess, that I see in these people and that I want to be around.
Yeah, they're I call it a beautiful circus, and it's filled with beautiful people, right? It's absolutely amazing. We got look, we got Roger in the house. He says, Simcoe, what's up, bro? Bro. He says, Randy is an awesome dude. Glad our paths crossed and he's become part of the race family. 100%.
Yeah, that dude's a real one, man. He's down there. He was at Daytona, and he's the one through a run of circumstances. He's going to crew chief for Shane this year. And he's, had the trust in me to bring me on, not only for Motor Drone, but for Mags's program too. So he's a real one. Like the people that I just described, that's him in a nutshell too. And the same for Shane.
Oh, 100%. I had both of them on my podcast, right?
Yeah,
so you guys go back and take a listen to that.
Yeah, high bar.
All right. And Roger also says, Shane, quit texting Simcoe, focus on driving that rig.
yeah. I saw him almost flip that thing in Orlando after they started asking. It was on 3 wheels.
I love it. Yeah, leave it to Shane, right?
Yeah.
He was probably listening to the Australian football, his team, the Pies, right? Probably got all excited and love it. And then we got Nick Salisbury. What's happening, Nick? He says Randy with the big heart emoji. Love it, man. I love it.
And
so
he was down with Johnny Andrews. He was down there too. He's a real one too, man. He I don't know if you know what happened to Johnny. He got rear-ended in one of his races, separated shoulder. He was going to run the 200, and that happened on Friday.
Oh no.
He came off at like 130 miles an hour, and Nick stayed down there crewing for him. Like, listen, I can't imagine doing. It's hard enough to do solo club racing. I can't even imagine trying to do Moto America, let alone Daytona, with one helper. And that's what Johnny was doing. Nick was his guy. That's that's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a lot of people don't know the work that goes in on a regular Moto America weekend, much less a Daytona weekend, right? Daytona has its own unique feel to it when you walk in the paddock. It's like this high tense energy, right? Because there's so much that happens. Pit stops are included, quick change, and just all these things together.
I mean, case in point, you saw a cameraman almost got hit, and I think a crew member, maybe it was Kayla's, one of Kayla's crew members almost got hurt. Maybe it was PJ. I don't know. There was a couple things. It's hectic. You got to keep that on the swivel.
It is, and the amount of work that goes in is just you boys nothing but congratulations, because it's a lot of work, man. People don't see it, right? They just show up and they see people setting up on hot pit and cold pit and blah blah blah. But
it's just there. It's
just there, right? But the work that goes into doing that, from the time they show up to the time they pack up and leave, like literally when the race is done, everybody's starting to pack. Like there's no bullshit. Like we got to go home because we got to work the next day, right?
Yep.
So I ain't got time to talk. I'll talk to you later. Give me a hug and bye. Right. Exactly how it is. I know exactly how it works. And it's beautiful to see it all come together, right? And then all get disassembled. And the next thing you know, it's like I'll go out to eat, I come back, and 3/4 of the paddock's gone. I like, see you
Yeah,
next.
yeah. You know what? I will draw a similarity in that, like that. We'll go back to the military thing, right? Like I told you, I was in the UK last year and twice. I got guys that still live over there that I knew, 18, 20 years ago, and I met with them and had breakfast and dinner with those guys, and we chatted just like nothing had ever changed. And I'll tell you this, I know this for a fact. I'll show up to CMP for round one with Azra, and there will be folks that it'll be like, it'll be like we never had a 6-month break or a 5-month break between race season and race season. So it's very much like that in the racing paddock too. We'll just pick up where we left off.
Oh, 110%. Speaking of BSB boys, a couple, Ross Irwin was there at Daytona. Lux Star, big shout out to them. And Dave, man, thank you so much for my shirt. He hooked me up with a shirt right here. Invited me to come back out to BSB. So, yeah, I looked at that and was like, bro, we got to make this happen. Like, you always talked about it. Let's go, right? So next year we plan on going to BSB and hanging out with all the boys again. I can't wait. It's
Well, hopefully, so my friend Adam I talked about, hopefully I've been trying to talk him in to come race with me, like the old days, and he's going to try and come for CMP. And actually, I mean, Max was in the what was it Red Bull did with Red Bull Super Teens or something, like Red Bull Cup, Rookie Cup or something like that. Max was in that. I think he may have won that championship one year, but he's picked up a thing or two. So like him crewing for me would be a bit different than back in sort of 2003, 2004, sleeping on a bunk bed, no running water, just making do with things have changed. So hopefully he'll be here for the CMP round. I don't know if you plan on going to any rounds with Azra, but that would be a cool chat, you and him.
Yeah. We'll make it happen. I do plan on going to. I do a lot of the Azra rounds and
That'd be great.
precision track days and stuff. So we'll make it happen. Just give me the dates. It's April. It's in April, right?
April 9, I think 9, 10 or 10, 11, whatever that weekend is our opening round.
Yeah. I'll check the schedule and make it happen. So let me ask you this, Randy. Getting back into racing after a long hiatus off, everybody talks about age. To me, it's just a number, right? We see so many people still doing it right now to this day. So especially Jeremy McWilliams, right? Like he's been doing it for a long, long time.
Josh Hayes.
Yeah, Josh Hayes too. Coming back in, what are your goals that you would like to achieve coming back into the sport?
Yeah, I want to that's a big question, man. Ultimately, I want to build something. I want to build something big. For me personally, it is just the competitive itch is what it was initially. I had a full Achilles tendon tear. I was trying to make the U.S. national team in triathlon for my age group. And I had 6 races scheduled the year before I tore my Achilles tendon in a March. And I had just started training and stuff. And I was just playing basketball out here in the driveway. And it was a full tear, and it was months and months of recovery, So basically my competitive running days are over. I can still run, but I can't run competitively. And I'm so competitive just naturally. I need something. To scratch that itch. And I've missed motorcycles since the day I walked away from them, back in 2007. It's just something, if you get it, you get it. If it's in your blood, it's in your blood and you get it. So I just wanted to get back on a motorcycle, just to be back on a motorcycle and in the paddock. Now last year I won 2 middleweight championships with Azra. I won the GP and the F40, which I think they're going to do away with the GPs and the F40. As fun as that race is, and as much skill as is on that grid, people talk a lot of shit about the F40 race, and that's okay. Here's what I know about that race, because this is the only, I guess, soapbox I carry, is I trust every one of the folks on that grid because I know they've been around. It's not the first race. So tight racing is like immediate. It's from turn one. And it's not like hectic where it is with, say, a group of folks, say novice riders and things like that, where you don't know what the experience level is, that kind of thing. The F40 race, everyone's been there. So close racing is you can trust and you can anticipate where they're going to be. I'll say that. So maybe one of the most fun races I do. I don't know. I guess I just want to be as competitive as I can be with the circumstances I have for as long as I can be. Personally, I just love to compete. I love the environment, and I'll do it until I can't walk anymore, I guess. And as far as with Epic, I want to build something. I want to, Justin and I talked about the sponsorship and support and the way we're going to go about that. We want to sponsor the right people. So we're going to have a process going into 27 for how we do this. I mean, we're coming from this being a hobby for Justin to this being a business for the two of us. And so we need to treat it more like that. So if you think about Comedic, they have all the companies have an application process. We're going to do the same thing, but we want to be associated to programs, and we want to help build programs that are pursuing excellence with the circumstances they have. And that's my goal, is to support that and in whatever way I can. I started doing YouTube videos last year. I don't know if you know Vasily Zulin. So he's a SuperBike guy in Azra, and I found him when I decided to get back into racing on YouTube, and he records all his laps, and so I just used him to study. And his lines are I mean, you have a bad lap every now and again, but they're impeccable. And so I watched him to study tracks before I went to race or do track days. And I just thought, man, that's so helpful. And I learned at Champ School from Isaiah Davis, Tony Pietri, and Ben Walters, like the importance of study, and Cody Wyman taught me the importance of study. I never realized how important map study was. Sort of breaking down with granular detail your intentions, your strategy for a lap. And so I started to do that, and found Vasily, and I started doing my own videos. So it's a very long-winded way to say what my goals would be to help teach people. You can't teach someone how to ride a motorcycle. I don't have the patience for that. But what I can do, I hope, is help riders be technically better at what they're doing when they're trying to go fast.
I love, yeah, dude, it makes perfect sense. Sounds like you have a career path already lined up when you hang up your leathers, my friend, to stay in the sport, and I love it.
I hope so. This is where I want to be, and I've got a lot to offer. So yeah, Epic seems to be a really great home for me at the moment.
I love it, man. I love it. You know, whatever visions and goals you have set forth yourself with just your personal racing career and with Epic, man, I hope you guys achieve them 10 times over.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. You know, I'd love to see everybody succeed. You know, that's a great feeling, right? And speaking of, you wouldn't be a very good one-on-one coach, would you?
No, one-on-one I'll be okay. As long as the person knows how to ride pretty quick already, I'll be all right. But just like turning the power on, bring the kickstand up, pull the clutch in, turn the motor on, I can't. I don't have it in me. You gotta come with knee pucks. Already got to have some slide marks on it, and then we can go.
I love it. Ryan Kraft says, "Proud of you, man."
He's talking to you. He has to be. He doesn't talk to me that way.
Well, thank you, Ryan. I love it. He said he don't talk to me that way. Oh my God, that's awesome. So coming into 2026, sounds like you got a big plate already ahead of you.
Yeah. So between the Azra schedule, because I'll do the full Atlantic schedule for Azra, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to do every class that I did last year, and then I'm also going to do the GTUs. Endurance is where my heart is. Like this, I was a triathlete. I did running competitively. Just endurance sports are just kind of my thing. I don't know what it is, if I'm a masochist or what, but I'd love to get back into endurance racing. I'd hope that N2 was. I think a lot of endurance folks are kind of awaiting with eager anticipation. What is N2 going to do with endurance racing? I think. We'd love to see a pipeline. I certainly would love to see a pipeline to a world endurance in some form or fashion in the U.S. And it's just kind of died a death to some extent. There's some confusion as to ambiguity, I'll say, as to what's going to happen with endurance. But Azra does a series called GTU, which is a 25-minute solo endurance. So I'm going to try and throw that into my program this year. And we'll see what happens with the GP and F40. But defend a couple titles and maybe win a couple others, or try and stand on the podium in a couple others.
I love it, man.
And then Moto America, whatever support I can give to Shane and We have other folks that are in Moto America. We got Chris Durbin, who we sponsor.
Yep.
We also do some work for Jason Waters and Alex Arango. And then, we're always looking out for other folks that we can support that sort of fit the Epic mission statement.
I love it, man. Chris is an absolute weapon. Had him on my podcast too as well, and Jason Waters. It's
and Nathan Seethaler. We
Nathan too.
Well.
Yep.
He's a good dude. Yeah, all awesome people.
Every single one of them are absolutely amazing human beings for sure, 110%. So man, I love staying busy, right? I love what you're doing for the paddock. I love what you're doing for the sport, man. It's an amazing thing to see. I love it. Dude, you're very welcome. As far as going back over the UK, you got any plans this year to go back over there too as well?
Not yet. So I'm going to see what happens with Max being with Bimota this year. It's I think a fairly consequential year for him. I think there was high expectations with Kawasaki for him last year. So he's I think at a point in his career where he's maybe feeling the pressure to produce.
Yeah.
He's super excited about the Bimota this year. I know that already. I have a call to catch up with Adam here soon, but no plans to go back over. But I won't say never. It's hard to say no to an invitation to go over there and sit for a BSB weekend. So we'll see what happens. I know Adam wants to try and get over here at least once for one of my rounds this weekend. So I'll have some kind of British connection this year. I just don't know which direction it'll go.
What was your favorite thing you ate over there in the UK?
Bangers, the sausages, hands down, full English.
Full English breakfast, dude. The black pudding
every day, but without the fried bread. I could just do toast. I can't do the fried bread.
I can't do the black pudding, bro. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. You got to get the right kind, and you got to mix it with the egg. You can't raw dog the black pudding. You can't do that.
No. So my buddy got me, dude. When he picked me up from Heathrow, he's like, dude, full English breakfast. Let's go. I've been waiting on this, right? So he's like, do you like pudding? I'm like, who don't like pudding? I'm thinking of America.
Oh, yeah, you're thinking,
right? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Right. So they bring it, right? And it's this little disc, and I'm looking at it. He's like, yeah, that's black pudding. And I was like, bro, it looks like a freaking one of those Quaker Oats rice cakes, right?
Yeah, but it's funny. You could like black pudding in one spot and go to a different spot, and totally different experience. I'll tell you a funny anecdote. So when I got into track days and stuff, I was friends with. I was stationed at RAF Fairford, and the folks who guarded the base were Royal Ministry of Defense policemen. So they were policemen for the British Defense Department. And one guy in particular, his name is David Cowan. I have to mention his name. He's a Scotsman. And we hated each other to begin with because I had my katana and I'd rev the motor a little bit when I'd pull up the gate or whatever. He just always would. Oh,
Dad, what picture are you?
He wanted to take a picture of me.
I expected mine to come in anytime. I'm glad to have you first. Anyway, Dave, Scotsman, and once a year he would get together with his schoolmates and stuff, and they would go to Scotland, start in Carlisle, basically do a lap of Scotland. And so when we got to be friends eventually, and he invited me to go with him, and then I got into racing and stuff, and then everybody we were riding with, probably a group of 20, 25 people, we do this tour of Scotland, and we do about 250 miles a day, stop, have a piss up of the night, and then go do 250 miles the next day. Didn't matter your state of physical abilities the next day, you got on the bike. And so I'm with a bunch of policemen, and we would get to this one stretch where everyone would hand me their keys because I was racing at this time, and they're like, Randy's not afraid of anything. And everybody would hand me their keys, and it was this straight. It was about 3 miles long, and everyone would pull the cameras out, and they would have me do like a speed run. So I did a GS 500. I got it up to 93 miles an hour. It was smoking and it sputtered. It was like the scariest speed run I've ever done. But the woman who owned this bike was so proud of it. It was smoking. A little bit of oil was coming off of it when I stopped it. And then I had a guy who had an R1 who was afraid of it. He'd never had it over 120. And keep in mind, I'm with a bunch of Scottish police officers. And so I get on this R1 and I go up the road, and I come back doing 184 miles an hour. And they're recording this video. So yeah, I've that story was to say we went to a bunch of bed and breakfasts in Scotland and had different black puddings. And so I know that there's a variety of black pudding out there for something for everybody. That was the point of that story.
Well, my only experience with it was not a pleasant experience. He's like, "Go on, mate." So I took this big old bite, right, and I got about 3 chews in it, and I had this look on my face, like, "What the fuck is
Yeah,
this?"
not for everybody.
No, absolutely not. I spit it out, and he's just laughing hysterically at me, right? I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you got me. You won't get me again, but you got me, right?" Yeah, it's my favorite meal I had over there was proper fish and chips with the curry, right, and the mushy peas, and then I ate at a Thai restaurant that was really good and an Indian restaurant that was really
Yeah, and it's funny that Indian food is kind of a British national cuisine.
right. It's so good. I love
Yeah,
Indian food,
yeah,
so it was, and of course I had the bacon there is different than ours.
yeah, yeah. Rashers, yeah.
And the biscuits in the morning at the racetrack at Cadwell. I always look forward
Oh
to
yeah,
that.
the rolls, like a
Yep,
sausage roll.
yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Good, man. They were absolutely amazing to eat, man. Dude. So helping out. Tell me your experience at Daytona this year, showing up to the track, helping Shane out.
Yeah, so that's the paddock I belong in. I feel like that's the I'm used to that pace. I'm used to that sort of level of task saturation, if you want to call it that. That's sort of a comfort zone for me. So for me personally, like that's yeah, I love being part of that show. Um, the weekend for us, man, I know I think I mentioned to you just in passing, because so much happened so fast. We were in such a great positioning all the way up through qualifying. He did a PB in qualifying, which put him on, I think, 24th on the grid, which is outstanding for a privateer. That's outstanding. And then went out in the race. He was in such a good mental state, just like as a racer, I know exactly where he was, and I love being in that situation going into a race weekend. And he went into the race, and I think it was the second lap. He low-sided in T1. And then Gary Yankowski had a really nasty high side coming out of the horseshoe, I think it was, which red flagged. I think that's what red flagged the race. But nevertheless, there was a red flag. He picked the bike back up, brought it around, had a bent rear set, and he had a bent lever, and then there was one other thing. And we were able to, the fairing, the lower belly pan was jacked up. And we had, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes. They had the red flag, so we got him patched up. And they did a restart. If you remember, they did a full restart. And so he got back on the grid for the restart, and then got 6 or 7 laps in, started to get some comfort, and then the motor popped. That was our weekend. So from highs and lows, right? Racing is highs and lows. You go one grid over, and they're as happy as they can be, and we're heartbroken because things transpired the way they did. But a great experience. I mean, with the team, there's a lot to take away that's positive from the way we interacted with one another, to identifying what somebody's good at or not good at, or who can you to say something to, and it's like fire and forget, or who maybe do you need to follow up on, or so a lot of team dynamic learning, which was a great positive for us, but a little less than ideal as far as the racing circumstances went this year. But we'll be back at Atlanta. And I won't say never to doing a Daytona 200. I mean, I saw a lot of people on that grid that I've spent time with. So yeah, I won't say never. It'd be something cool to have on the resume, and I think I could probably do 200 miles. So we'll see what happens in 27.
Yeah, I'd love to see you out there, man, at the 200 for sure. How did you and the motor drone and Shane? How did all this come together?
Yeah, so like I told you, I picked up the bike from an Evolve coach, and I decided to go do some The reason was just to do track days, just to go have fun, get associated to the racing community again. I ended up meeting Mark Schweber, who's a good friend of mine still. He was a coach for not Precision. Who is Roger Lyle? Motorcycle Excitement.
Yeah,
he was a coach for him. He and I still chat and stuff. But when I realized I still had a little bit of pace, and I still had a desire to go racing. No real, like when I started out, there was no real goal. It was just go race, go compete, see if you can still, handle that. There's a different stress with racing than there is with track days, just being on this circuit, and see if you can still acclimate. And I did, and I'm like, shit, I want to go endurance racing. So I put a post on Facebook. I'm like, outside of the 13X forum for WERA, I don't know what to do besides Facebook. I don't know anybody in the race community. I'm not plugged in here. I have no reputation like I did in the UK. So it's just kind of a dart. And then Roger is the one who got a hold of me and said, hey, are you interested in joining Motor Drone? We got an open seat. So I had a conversation with him, and I had a conversation with Ryan Kraft, and they discussed amongst the team, and they asked me to join them for the season. So the intention was always to compete for Motor Drone, to get into the National Endurance Series and help it grow. We just had the 1 year, and then N2 and WERA decided to separate, and it is what it is now. But that did, if nothing else, being with Motor Drone just showed to me that I still really want to be racing. That'll dissolve when it dissolves, but I'm not in a rush to expedite that. I'll keep competing for as long as I can.
Yeah, I love it, man. I'm a huge fan of endurance racing. It's the best seat time you can get.
It's a different beast too. I love it's the team aspect. It's the you've got to strategize. You got to think about. You can't just go all out. From lap one. You can't do it. Your tires won't make it, or the gas won't make it, or you won't make it. So you have to strategize, and you have to think about what you're doing more so than sprint racing. Yeah, I love it. I love the thought piece to that and the team piece to that.
Oh, 100%, dude. And plus everybody don't have the same riding style or clip-on position and rear set. So you make this happy medium, right?
Yeah, you gotta find. Yeah,
you gotta find, right?
So it's funny you say that. We have a rider, our other rider says, me and Shane, which we're I'm certainly Shane's built like a brick shit house. So I'm about 160 pounds race weight. And then we have Brad Burns, who is like 210 pounds. And so we're trying to set up a suspension, and he likes the bars out wide. Me and Shane like them nice and compact. And so you're trying to balance all those things. And so that's the thing too. I think if you can ride an endurance bike that was built for several people, it says something about you as a rider too. You can adjust your style versus, having to adjust the bike to you. And I think that's a skill. And with all the auto blippers now and all the traction control and I don't have any of that stuff. I got a quick shifter, and that's it, man, and a short throttle. And the rest of it I'm doing. So I have a lot of respect for people who still ride the bike versus the electronic assistance too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a huge fan of the old school proper blip the throttle to match the engine revs. I
think it's a skill that everybody should have, because what happens when the module breaks mid race, or a component is not functioning the right way? You still gotta be able to back it in with the clutch still.
Yep, 110%. I think that I'm a fan. Listen, I always say everything's a double-edged sword, right? Yes, we need the electronics. Yes, it makes it safer for a novice to get on an R1 and ride the thing, right? Yeah. But the downside of it is, it's taken away how I personally see it, some natural ability to physically ride the bike the way it
100%,
is, right? Without the electronics. So,
I think I don't know. Maybe this is a hot take, but I wonder. I'd love to see the same rider on exactly the same bike with him with that electronics, just to see what they could do. I mean, I know Pedro Acosta last year got frustrated at one of the GP rounds and said, "Take the electronics off of it in qualifying," and then he went out and took pole. So, I don't know.
It'd be interesting for sure, right? I mean, you often hear that from the top guys, take all the electronic. Stoner was a big advocate of it too back then.
Yeah.
Take all the shit out. Let me figure out how she dances in the
Yeah.
field, and then if I need to implement something, I'll implement a little bit here and a little bit there. And
exactly.
Yeah.
110%.
Well, listen, man, I want to transition to the second part of the podcast where we get to know Randy away from motorcycle racing. We already heard about your career, which was absolutely amazing. Congratulations on all your accomplishments. And I just want to pick your brain a little bit, man. So first question I have for you is, tell us something we don't know about you at all, Randy.
Oh, man. Something you don't know about me at all. That's a tough question. There's probably a lot. There'll be a lot about me you don't know. Outside of, I told you I'm a competitive person. I have to be doing something competitive. It's just natural. If we're walking to the restaurant together, we're racing. You just don't know.
I
You
love
know
it.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so. I am a competitive fisherman too. I fish in bass tournaments here on the Potomac River and areas local to Virginia. I do woodworking. I build poker tables and host poker tournaments and things like that here at the house. Those are some things you probably don't know. They're
I
all
love it.
competitive though.
Yeah, yeah. Me and my buddies down the street, we get together and do poker night. I used to do a lot of bass fishing myself until I went deep sea fishing. I caught a 500-pound blue marlin.
Ooh,
Now,
no,
yeah, then I went back to do bass fishing. I was like,
yeah, I think it's different when you're catching something that could consume you. Yeah,
this is boring, right? Like this
yeah,
ain't fun
yeah.
anymore. What is this, right? This is a minnow compared to yeah, absolutely. Are you a coffee drinker?
No, not at all. Red Bull. I picked up a Red Bull habit when we had our first child. So at the time I was going to college. I was a new special agent, and we had a newborn. Plus, I was working, so I was sleeping maybe I don't know for a good year, maybe 4 hours a night. So Red Bull got me through that period. So and it's stuck with me. So no coffee. Every now and again, but I'm not a coffee drinker.
I love it. Red Bull, huh? You need to be sponsored by Red Bull then.
Yeah, go. Yeah, they would have me. Yeah, I don't have the reputation or the face for Red Bull. I don't think.
Oh, come on now.
It should be a radio show.
It should be, right? Randy, what's your worst habit?
Tobacco dip. I dip tobacco. That's by far my worst habit.
Yeah, I do. I do the nicotine pouches like the Zen and
Yeah, a lot of guys do this. Man, I picked this up when I was embarrassingly young. So hunting. I grew up hunting. I still hunt, archery hunt. I'm an outdoorsman. I like doing stuff with my hands, but yeah, tobacco is by far my worst habit.
yeah.
And I'm a night owl, man. I don't sleep very much at all. Maybe 4 or 5 hours a night most nights. Sometimes I'll just stay up if I got shit to do. I'll be here in the office printing. So yeah, that's a bad habit too.
Yeah, it's hard for me to shut my mind off sometimes at night. I'm the
Oh
same.
yeah.
Like I lay in bed, like I'm physically tired, right? Sitting on the couch. I'm like, I'm going to bed. As soon as I lay down in bed, it's like I'm wide open again.
Yeah, if I've got things that are like outstanding things that I need to do, my mind will race, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Just get up and do the things, right? And then sleep tomorrow if you need to sleep tomorrow.
I'm the same way, man. It's sometimes I feel like I walk around like a zombie because of it. You know what I mean? And always got to make the best of the situation too, for sure. So everybody knows, dude, I listen to a lot of audiobooks as well as podcasts. Do you do either? You listen to books?
I do some podcasts. No, not so much. But audiobooks, I started listening to. Actually, Roger got me onto this last year. They were doing lots of driving from Ohio for the endurance rounds and stuff. And so I think there was one round Roger and Ryan were driving together, and they had listened to a book. And it was I think Johnny Hopkins.
Leathered.
Yep. Yeah. So I got to the part where he's like he crashed at Brands, a real bad crash he had at Brands Hatch. I started listening to some racing podcasts on my way to and from the track just to kill time. But I'll listen to audiobooks. I'm a Stephen King fan. I'm a John Irving fan. So I'll listen to pretty much it, as long as it's not Stephen King's voice. Somebody else has done your voiceover. But yeah, I listen to some.
Yeah, I'm currently listening to The Art of Racing in the Rain, which is a great movie too. The book's really good so far. So I'm the same way. You know, I do a lot of driving to a lot of tracks on the East Coast for Moto America and track days. So throw an audio book, maybe a podcast or two, and pass the time for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a great option and plus you're doing something at the same time.
100%. Are you a spicy food guy? You like spicy food?
Yeah. So I lived in South Carolina for a while. I don't think you can live in the South and not pick up some kind of spicy food habit. I picked up. You ever have boiled peanuts down south? The Cajun boiled peanut. Oh man,
they're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm a ramen fan. I lived in Korea for a year. I've been to Japan lots of times, and that's one of the first things I do when I get to Japan, or one of the Asian countries where they do ramen. Is ramen, spicy
Yeah,
ramen.
spicy ramen. Yeah, I make homemade ramen. I'm a ramen lover myself.
Heck yeah,
So I like to cook, man. I get it from my mom. So yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I heard.
That
I'm
right.
like blue cheese dressing.
Right. Yeah, I know. I love it. I can't wait to go get it too. Dude, do you play video games at all? Like Xbox,
Yeah,
PlayStation?
no, brother. I grew up in that generation. Like I grew up where we went from Atari to Sega Genesis is
Yeah,
what I had
yeah.
to Nintendo 64 to hell yeah. I got a PS5. My boys got PS5s. We'll play games. We play racing games together. So like, check this out. I'll be in my room. The boys will be in their rooms and we're all playing this little racing game. It's real simple, but we're like tracking our lap times, and they're trying to beat dad, and dad's trying to, and they're really freaking good. They're getting really good at it. And like when they listen to them, like, hey, you need to do this here for a better lap, and they'll do some nuanced little thing like it cuts a 10 off, and they're like stoked about it. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, I play video games.
Yeah, me too. I'm currently playing Rod 5. Me and my boy, we play Apex together and goofy games. We was playing this one game where it's co-op game and we got to like work together to solve these puzzles
Yeah,
and
well,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I like doing shit like that.
I mean,
It's
in this age, man, I see it as a good way. Two things to stay connected to them, right? Because
yeah,
I grew up playing video games. Now they're loving it, so it's a good way to stay connected because that's what they want to be doing. It's either that or they're just locked up in the room. And then the other thing is Roblox is a massive thing, and so both my boys have a computer. And they are doing their own programming. So they're doing script writing. It's pretty basic, just making these little games and stuff.
yeah,
But hell yeah, I'll support that. Learning how to write script. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
110%. Yeah, my son plays Roblox. I played it a couple times. It's just something I just don't get into it that much.
No, I don't. I'm not into it myself, but I know enough about it to know that it's conducive to them learning how to script and
100%.
enjoying it. Because then they get like a fan or two, and somebody plays their game, and they make a comment, and yeah, the rest is
It's great. Yeah. Then they want to they have a passion and it could turn into a career.
absolutely. And one of them is really enjoying it. Yeah.
I agree. 110% agree, man. What's the one superpower you wish you had?
Well, superpower, X-ray vision, man.
I love it. You're the first one that's ever said X-ray vision. Love it. I would like to teleport. I could be like, hey Randy,
Let me be clear. It's just so like when a motor breaks, I can see like what's going on with the motor. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
okay, Randy. I'm gonna let you have that one.
Thank you.
That's hilarious. Oh my god, dude. Do you have any tattoos?
I do. I have one tattoo I got when I was 18, which could be changed, but I'm perfectly happy with it. It's a I'm Irish, 4-leaf clover with my initial and 3 really good friends' initials in it.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Do you are you superstitious at all? Meaning that I always call it preparing for battle.
Dude, I have to. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Okay.
Your Office fans are gonna appreciate that very much. Yeah, I guess so. I'm not superstitious, but there are certain things that I have to do that are important to me that if I don't, they'll be on my mind. I'll say that. So like in the UK, when you're racing, you have to wear, it's like a dog tag necklace with a dog tag on it. It's got your blood type, your name, and if you have any allergies, a list of them, right? And I ride that when I'm racing. That's a superstition, I guess, for me, is I have to have that on when I'm on the bike, is I've got that dog tag on. It's not a requirement here. I would encourage everybody, just go, when you go to Weiss next time and get a gallon of milk, go to the little dog thingy and print yourself a dog tag that has your blood type, your name, and whether you have allergies. You never know when you might need something like that. But that's a superstition. I got a couple other ones that are just like little nuance. Like my visor before I go on the bike has to be immaculate as it could be. That's kind of I don't know if that's just anal retention, OCD, or if that's a superstition, but I got a couple things like that.
Yeah, I'm anal when it comes to my visors. I'm the same with my glasses too. It's like they got to be perfect. If it has one spot on it, it drives me fucking insane.
Yeah, sight is very important in our sport. So why not do my part? It's yeah.
110%, man. Dude, if you could travel back to any era of time, what time would you travel back to?
Oh man, 2-stroke GP bikes. I think sort of the mid 90s, early 90s, I think for racing.
Yep.
I would want to see the 2-stroke 500s on a full race weekend. And Gary McCoy, I want to see him drift around the ass end of a bike, a 2-stroke around a corner, and just like, how in the hell? How do you do?
How do you do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We got Ryan Kraft real quick says, LOL, you, Randy. Well, what am I, chopped liver, Ryan?
Oh, was he talking? He was talking to me, saying he's proud of it.
Yeah.
He would never say that out loud. Okay, you see, he'd only type it. Then he could say somebody else is on the computer, because I'm gonna bring this up. Next time I see him, I'll bring it up. Like, you're proud of me.
That's hilarious. And then we got my good buddy Kenny. What's happening, Kenny? He says, I love that. Back in carry a car leather. Some sanctions make you put your blood type on your helmet.
On your helmet. Yeah, right. Shit, not a bad idea. Hey, I own a graphics company. You want your blood type on your helmet? Let me know.
Well, there you go, man. There you go. All right, one last question for you. And we'll continue this. We'll schedule our part 2. But listen, money no object. Randy, you have your own Moto America team. Okay, what manufacturer of motorcycle would you have, and who are the 2 current riders that race in Moto America in any class that you would put on your bike?
Oh man, is it a middleweight or a heavyweight?
That's up to you. You want to do middleweight? You want to do heavyweight? It's totally up to you.
Man, the Panigale is just a monster at the moment. I mean, I'd be crazy not to say Panigale. Heavyweight or middleweight, they're just they're right there at the tippy top, and yeah, it seems like everybody else is going away from their middleweight, Suzuki and Yamaha, and Kawasaki's a 636 now. So yeah, who knows? But it would be a Ducati. 2 riders. God, I'd have to think about that. I think Ella Dreer is an incredibly talented young lady. She did incredibly well at Daytona as well. So I'm a fan of hers. Also a big fan of Kayla's. I watched. I don't know how many times I've watched the last 2 laps when she was behind Bender, and she chose to stay out in the dirty air around the back. And knowing how many laps she had left, she chose to stay in the dirty air, knowing that she would get passed back. It's just absolute masterclass in racecraft. I said that to the guys watching. A big fan of hers. I think she's got a phenomenal attitude as well. She's just I don't know. She has a great attitude, and she's got great talent. So I'd certainly consider those 2 young ladies. Ryder Davis, I've ridden with him a lot, mostly for a lap or 2 only. Right before he disappears with Azra, and then saw him a lot on the endurance grid with. I think he was riding. I don't know who exactly he rode for, but he was in the endurance panic for a while too. So I'd be remiss to not consider Ryder. He's an extraordinary talent too, generational, I'd say.
100%, dude. I agree. You know, big shout out to Ryder, top 10, dude. 9th place, first Daytona 200.
I think he was disappointed with that, but man, oh man, to show up at Daytona and then to perform that well. You'd kill for that kind of success your first time out. So yeah, I'd have to consider him. There are others, obviously PJ and Tyler, and God, I don't know, man. There's a lot of talent in the Moto America grid.
There is, absolutely there is. Kenny says, Gavin, real quick, says, what's up, everyone? What's happening, Gavin? It was good to finally meet you at Daytona. And then Kenny says, Kayla has so much racecraft. She really does. And she proved that at Daytona, 100%. Yeah, so if anybody would add any doubts at all.
And mature. She showed a lot of maturity beyond her. But she's been racing a long time. Like, this is not her first rodeo. I didn't realize she'd been racing since she was like 8 or 9 years old. So racecraft, not something new. I just thought in that moment, right, because you see the purple mist, or the pink mist when you're racing. You see somebody in front of you, 2 laps to go. How do you have the self-control to stay out in that dirty air, and you can see daylight in front of both of you? Just profound.
Yeah, dude, 100%. You know, and this is going to do nothing but spike her confidence, and she's going to carry this momentum. She's definitely going to be a force to reckon with this year.
Absolutely. And riding, that's one thing that I tried to do, I think, in 2025, was just ride with patience.
Yep.
Let the bike do the work instead of, you know how it gets. You get frantic, like you can't quite latch on to the person in front of you, and you start trying to push it. You start trying to like
Make mistakes.
do more
You need to. Yeah.
than you need to. Yeah. So just relaxing and just keeping your cool. And man, she demonstrated that to a T.
No, I mean, because it's easy for us to do this, but it's so hard for us just to do this a little bit and just to sit there because
Yeah.
of the pink mist and the red mist, whatever it is you see, right? It's a collective of everything, and to stay calm, cool, collective in that situation, and she did what she needed to do, and yeah, man, it was a great weekend. But Randy, listen, we've been at this for an hour exactly. I'm gonna get off here because I got they sent Ryder and them sent some people out here to pick up the trailer that I towed back from Florida for them. So I'm gonna go out there and say hi to them. It was an absolute honor to have you on. Before I end this podcast, I got a couple things I'm gonna say. And as always, Randy, I'm gonna let you end the podcast, give all your shout outs where people can find you and support you and your epic design and print too as well. First things first, I got two friends that make the most epic, best proper mega undersuits in the industry. You're not going to go wrong about ordering from either one of them. First one is my man Tate from 64 Degree Racing. Absolutely amazing. I got one of mine hanging up here on the wall. The second one is Mama Aliki from venomsport.com. I also got now 4 friends in the industry that make graphic designs. My man Randy right here, and from Epic Design and Print, I got Drippin' Wet, Chris Krazil, my man Reese Brody at REB Graphics, and Gus Rodeo at GOD Designs. Again, you're not going to go wrong by ordering from any one of them. Basically a lot of people ask me, I have a lot of friends that I give the same shout out to that make the same products. It's just like anything, right? You feel what suits you the best, right? Whether it's the colors or the design of whatever it is, or just the person in general. Again, you're not going to go wrong. Big shout out to Chef Eats for all those proper mega meals you could take to the track with just a microwave, and they're super healthy and they're very good. Have you ever had Chef Eats before?
Yeah, actually, Shane used those guys. Was it 2 years ago where the team Motor Drone had Chef Eats? So yeah.
Yep, absolutely amazing. For all my UK fans and friends, you guys can go to clothingkings.co.uk and order all your Pin to Gas merch. I get asked about my jacket all the time. That's where I got mine from, is out there in the UK. Big shout out to Vet2Track for all my veterans out there that, Jim has an amazing program, vet2track.org. He brings like-minded people and vets around to the racetrack, and you get to help out on the team and just be around like-minded people and take your mind away from everyday struggles that we all go through, right? Get back in that happy space again. So it's an amazing program. If you guys are interested, it's vet2track.org. Second one is tbexusaexperience.org. His program, Michael, is absolutely amazing. If you know anybody that's been in an unfortunate accident that's maybe missing an arm or paralyzed from the waist down, or whatever the case may be, you can still get out there and race and ride. Absolutely, you can. Again, the website is tbexusaexperience.org. The last thing I'm going to say is, listen, people, if there's anything you need in the industry, don't order it off of Walmart and Target. Keep it within the industry, right? It's a huge deal. That's what keeps my friends in the industry that sell their products, such as Randy and everybody else, in business. Okay. Just because you get a 5-10% discount, don't do it, because it takes away business from all my friends in the industry. And I appreciate it, right? So, Randy, tell everybody where they can find you on social medias, how they can support you, and if anybody's interested in getting their helmet wrapped, their car wrapped, their dog wrapped, their wife wrapped, or whatever it may be, that they can get in touch with you and get that process started.
Yeah, you bet. Chris, thank you so much. It's so great to meet you. The couple of times that we've had a chance, I have a feeling that we'll probably say hi more often when we're in the same paddock. So thank you. I'd welcome the chance to come back a second time, hopefully holding hands with Justin next time, and we can talk epic design and print and all things epic. Thanks again for having a chance to do a shout out. I don't get a chance like this very often for my sponsors. I do have sponsors. I'm a solo racer. I pay for my own stuff just like everybody else does. So I appreciate very much my sponsors, and you give me the opportunity to shout them out. First, I'll start with Epic Design and Print. Obviously, we can wrap just about anything you put vinyl on. So we're motorsports specific industry. We're in the motorsports specific industry. That's what our concentration is. Justin Nelson is a exceptional design talent. He has an eye for this industry that I have never seen before. And he's able to replicate that and do designs with folks by having conversations and just by consuming some of the things that they like. So his talent is exceptional, and I'm very proud to be part of that. So definitely Epic Design and Print. Get in touch with us, epicsuperbikes.com, and send us a quote. If it's not something we have on the site, we're more than happy to template and do it for you. I'm located in Stafford, Virginia. He's located in Atlanta, Georgia, and we do installs on helmets and things like that as well. Bikes, whatever you have, you just got to get it to us. Shout outs. Oh my God, I don't want to miss anybody. I just partnered with 1X. So I'll be representing those guys this year with the leathers. So I'm very excited about that partnership. Trackside Parts Club, Justin has always been spot on. He's so quick anytime I need anything from him. And then when something breaks at the track, he's always got like the nuanced, obscure thing that you need to get you back on track. So Justin's been great at Trackside Parts Club. Pit Lane Moto, we're both wearing pit lane hats. Zeb's actually got my race bike right now to do a tune for me for this year. They've always been great, not only with building bikes, so all the parts associated to that, from exhaust to shocks to you name it, they're a great stop as well. Vortex helps a lot of people in the industry, and they have a very broad sponsorship program, so I appreciate them very much, and I support them the same way. Cometic Gasket, 64 Degree Racing. I'm working with Tate right now to get some compression suits for me this year and a couple of hoodies. He's always been great. He's a great designer too. Recluse Racing for clutches and things like that. I race with Azra, so I want to give Azra a shout out. I think they're a phenomenal organization, and they hear and listen to the riders, which is phenomenal. So I love the way that they're doing it. I love the way that they're building too. I think that's it, man. I don't think I've forgotten anybody. I will say NPS Engines, Niagara Power Sports up in Niagara, New York. Built my motor initially with Ryan and Roger. So, and then Motor Journal Racing. Thanks to those guys for bringing me onto the family and make me feel like I'm part of it, and get me associated to Moto America ultimately as well.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, Randy, I appreciate it, man. It's been such an honor to sit down. This episode will be out as soon as these guys get this trailer and leave. I'll put it out everywhere, and I'll tag you.
Hey, Chris, thank you so much, buddy. I look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah, man. I look forward to seeing you at Atlanta, Randy. And dude, I went back and looked. You never sent me your phone number, so message me your phone number so I can program it in my phone.
I'll do it right away.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you guys for all the love and support. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon at the racetrack.
Take care, brother.
See you, bro.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.